Martin and had a chat with Dante.
Now, I know that a group like Metallica don't like being called thrash metal, despite the fact that they often are. But Mike, how do Possessed feel about being called thrash metal? Are you a thrash metal band?
Well, we were in the beginning. It's like, we still really are. I mean, we still have a lot of speed to us and stuff like that, as far as our music goes. But as far as being called black metal or something like that, we don't really consider ourselves that anymore. But a thrash metal, I'd say, it's more thrash and heavy metal kind of mixed, is the way we feel about it.
And we want people to appreciate it more than just, you know.
Yeah, I think the term thrash metal does imply a certain lack of intelligence and musicianship, don't you think so?
Yeah. We're getting a little more progressive, a little more palatable than before, you know, so it's changing a lot.
All right, well, you've got your second album is out at the moment. It's called Beyond the Gates. It's a very impressive packaging, which I'm going to attempt to demonstrate here for the camera. As the sleeve opens up, and then this sort of thing comes down, and whose idea was this? There you go, and it opens up there as well. This is the one.
It wasn't ours.
That's the record company's idea.
It's an interesting one. Haven't seen this sort of album since early Yes albums, I don't think. It's very impressive. But talking about Beyond the Gates, and we aren't talking about the pearly gates here, are we, Mike? We're talking about things more satanic, I suspect.
It's
kind of your own imagination.
Yeah, really. There's a lot of
suggestion there, yeah.
There's a lot of things, you know, in the songs. There's like, before on the first album we did, it was all, you know, more like a kind of black magic type of thing. This one here is more of a, you know, it's got different subjects. It's not all about one thing, like March to Die. It's basically about kind of a war kind of thing and stuff like that. That's what's, you know, really what we wanted to do. We wanted to make more, you know, songs instead of one subject. I mean, we want to do more.
Jeff, do Possessed have a genuine interest in the dark side of life, or is it just that those sort of lyrics tend to fit the music you play a lot better and things like that?
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. You can't really sing about flowers, but we put it so that, yeah, it's got a morbid fascination, I guess, you know, but not really, you know, just kind of fits the music.
The speed of what we're doing too, you know. It's like you said, you can't sing about flowers playing as fast as we are.
That's true, certainly couldn't. Unless they were at a funeral, possibly, or a wreath, you could possibly sing about. Yeah. Maybe we should move on to that dreaded subject of comparisons now, Mike, because I would think the two bands you're probably most compared with, the one certainly Venom, I would have said, because of your vocals, Jeff. Don't you think that they do sound a bit like Kronos as well?
I don't think so. I think, more like we're influenced more like Motorhead, maybe Exodus. You know, not influenced musically by Metallica, but not vocal-wise.
What about Slayer, Mike? Are they a particular influence with you?
No, not really. They weren't. A lot of people do. In the States, they compare us like, oh, they're like Slayer, you know. No, not at all. We're not, you know, we're compared to them, but not as much anymore, we can see. But at first, like, oh, yeah, they're like Slayer, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't really.
But we were never influenced by them at all.
Those songs written before the first album that we had, well, before I was even in the band, you know, music-wise. So we kind of went off basic roots back from.
Jeff, whatever sort of music Possessed play, be it speed metal, death metal, thrash metal, black metal, whatever, there is a kind of a resurgence of interest in it. I think some of the major labels are now signing bands of this nature. Do you feel part of any particular movement involving some of the other bands that we've mentioned as well?
Well, I think like most of the bands like Metallica kind of made a bridge, make it more accessible to go into the larger labels and stuff. So kind of helps us out a lot, you know. But I don't really feel part. Well, actually, it would be nice to be part of a movement, you know. But since we get on a major label and stuff,
I think there is something going on. Another band involved in it are probably Voivod, who I think, Mike, you're going to be touring Europe with fairly shortly, aren't you? When does that start, that tour?
Oh, I think it starts around the 10th of this month.
10th November.
And I guess we're going to be co-headlining with them. They headline one, we headline one. It's going to be off and on kind of a thing like that.
And Jeff, there was an English show somewhere, isn't there, towards the end of this tour, I think, with Voivod? In London?
I think so. I think the
24th.
Yeah, 24th.
Yeah, I heard it was the 24th at the Electric Ballroom, which is in London.
Yes.
So people can see you in Europe. It's been interesting. It's your first visit, of course, I think, isn't it, in Europe as well?
It's an experience.